Hi everyone, thanks for coming back to the BNS channel. I apologize for it being shaky, but I'm zooming in a lot because there's a moose across the river. Can you see him? So I'm gonna kind of rest down here and see if we can watch him for a little bit. But I wanted to come to you today. This video was going to be a lot different. I was supposed to go to a party today in a town about 2 hours from here. I've done a party with her before, and I woke up this morning. I was in a wonderful mood, ready to go, raring to go, and life hit our community pretty hard, and my plans changed. So without getting into a lot of detail, because I don't feel that it's necessary, I think it brought some perspective to me. We kind of lost him here. I want to zoom back in because I'm not sure that we're going to get to see much of him anymore. But it put into perspective a lot of what we might be dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And the fact that life does happen, and life does come up and bite us in the butt sometimes. But it's not so much the hand that we all feel we're dealt, it's how we deal with it. So it's very windy. I'm going to change position and I'll be right back. Okay, so I came back in. It was a bit windy. Matter of fact, I've got to let the animals out. So without getting into too much detail, we had a very tragic thing happen in our very small community this morning. A couple things, actually. And I don't know that it's necessary to get into too much of the details. Just know that there were a lot of families affected. It's one of those things that just don't happen here. And so, you know, we had to deal with some losses. We had to deal with fear. We had to deal with unknown. And, you know, you always feel like it's not going to happen to your family, and it did not happen to specifically my family, but it did happen to their family. And I think it's important for us to remember that there are certain things that happen in our lives that we don't have control over. But how we deal with it and how we proceed with that new knowledge really is what's going to make the difference. And I had a couple phone calls yesterday that I spoke with some wonderful people. And I find that there's a common denominator with how we allow ourselves to get down, to get in a funk, to get in a rut. And we can't seem to pull ourselves out of it. And I'm going to tell you that no one can pull you out except yourself. And I know that you guys hear me talk about this a lot. And I'm going to tell you the reason I talk about it a lot is because it is so healing. It is so true, and it works beyond what you think it could possibly work. And I'm a true example of this. You know, if you had known me 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I was extremely negative. I was not a happy person. And I was the only one. As much as my friends wanted to help, as much as my mother wanted to help, my sister, I mean, everybody that wanted to help me could not help me. They could tell me what I needed to hear. They could coach me, they could train me, they could teach me, they could do whatever they wanted. But if I did not listen and I did not implement or apply it into my own living human being, it meant nothing. It meant nothing. And so I go back to, and I mean, this doesn't have all to do with this morning. However, it got me in a reflective state. When you are in those types of environments, whether it's, I'm going to see if I can make this a little lighter. When you're put in those situations and you have to really think about life, this is what happens to me. I dig a little deeper, and I just want you all to understand that truly, 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 two things. God and the universe only give us things that we can in turn become amazing teachers about. Whether it's dealing with death, dealing with tragedy, dealing with loss of job, of person, of whatever. When you experience those things, you become the best teacher and the best person to show others how to get through it. And that's a gift. That's a blessing. The second thing is the story that you're telling yourself. If you're telling yourself that you cannot do things, that you cannot accomplish things, that you are not supposed to be doing these things, then you're not going to. If you're telling yourself that you can and it's possible, and that's what's supposed to happen, then what happens is your mind goes with that and starts to play it out in your real life. This is real stuff, guys. This is absolutely real stuff. And if there's any one person that I could potentially help with the knowledge that your story needs to come from you, and it needs to have feeling, and you need to have belief and hope behind it, then that one person is who I was meant to help. But I truly believe that your story that you play in your head over and over and over and over again is the story that you will play out in your physical life, in your real life, in your world, in your family. It is, because it's what you believe. And what you believe and what you think is what happens with you, because it's your body acclimates to the knowledge that you're giving it, and that's what plays out in your life. And I don't know if you guys think that this is hooey-pooey stuff. I've said that word before, but I'm telling you, it has been proven to me time and time and time again in my own life, in people in my family's lives that have actually taken my information and run with it. It's an amazing revelation. And to have the feeling behind it, to play it out and to live it out, is where that passion, that desire, and that drive is going to come from. But it's going to have to start with the story that you're telling yourself. And if you don't believe the story that you're telling yourself, you can tell yourself that it is possible. If you're saying, I'm a superstar director, and your little negative person in the back of your head is saying, yeah, okay, Edie, I can reply by saying, but it's possible. It's possible that I can be a superstar director. So why can't I be one? I am one. That passion that I pull behind it means that I am one. Whether it is something that is happening in real life, real time, doesn't matter, because I feel that way. And that's how I live. That's how I teach. That's how I train. That's how I lead. You know, you've heard the term, what you think about comes about. There is reality to that. There truly is reality to that. So think about what story you're telling yourself and maybe change it up a little bit. It will take practice. It'll take effort. It's gonna take effort. You have to be constantly thinking about what it is that you want. Don't be focusing on what you don't want. Why would you want to bring more of that into your life? Right? You all see that I'm very passionate about this. I have a lot of desire to share this information with people because I've seen it change me. I've seen the feelings inside of me change. People that did know me 15 years ago have noticed a change. Even my children have. So I challenge you to check your story. What story are you telling yourself? What story are you telling others about yourself? Make it a good story. We like good stories with good endings. I want you all to go and have an amazing day. Hug your children. Make it an amazing day for somebody else. I'll talk to you guys all in the next video. Bye.